Designing a safe zone for people who cry easily. There are people who do not need a major event to start crying. Just one slightly heavy sentence, one gaze that turns cold, one silence that lasts too long, or sometimes even one unexpected act of care. Their tears have already begun to rise before they can explain anything. This does not mean they are overreacting. Some will die. It also does not mean they want others to pity them. In many cases, it may be a sign that their emotional system responds very quickly to pressure. When a conversation becomes tense, the body may receive a signal of danger before the rational mind has time to organize a response. The throat tightens, the eyes grow warm, the shoulders tense, and the hands do not know where to rest. And the most helpless part is not sadness. It is when they still know exactly what they want to say inside their mind, but the body no longer has enough calm to say it out loud. For people like this, tears are not always weakness. Sometimes they are simply the way the body releases emotions that have been held in for too long. But if someone only tells them to accept themselves, they still do not know what to do in the moment when tears are about to rise. That is why something more practical matters. Say, they need a space that helps the body feel safer. In spatial psychology, a room is not only a place to live. It is also a place where the nervous system learns to relax, defend itself, or stay alert. A desk facing away from the door may make a person feel as if something is always watching from behind. A room that is too bright, too noisy, or too cluttered may make it harder for the mind to find a stopping point. A place with no private corner may make emotions feel as if they have no boundary. For people who cry easily, the living space does not need to be perfect. It only needs a few clear points of support. The first point of support is back support. When working, they can choose a position where there is a wall, a bookshelf, or a high-backed chair behind them. This is not about hiding from the world. Scene, it is about helping the body stop constantly checking what may be behind it. Simply moving the chair to a place with a wall behind it for 7 days can help them observe whether their shoulders feel less tense, whether they startle less easily, and whether it becomes easier to focus. The second point of support is a small recovery corner. It does not need to be an entire room. It can be only one corner with soft, warm light, a soft pillow, a glass of water, or a small object with a surface that feels easy to touch. The light is not too harsh. The pillow fabric is soft under the palm, but the warmth of the water touches the skin. The scent of clean fabric or a gentle fragrance rests in the room. After a tense conversation, instead of immediately opening the phone or continuing the argument, they can walk back to that corner, sit down for 5 minutes, place both feet on the floor, and hold the glass of water with both hands. They do not need to force themselves to be okay right away. They only need to let the body understand that the conversation has paused, and this place is safer. The third point of support is a tactile anchor. When tears are about to rise, people. Many people try to hold them back by blaming themselves. Stop crying. But the more they force it, the stronger the emotion may become. A gentler way is to bring attention back to physical sensation. They can place a smooth stone, a small ring, or an object with a clear surface on the desk. When they feel the throat tightening, they can touch that object for 30 seconds. The feeling of cold, the feeling of smoothness, the feeling of weight in the palm. These small details do not make emotions disappear immediately. But in some cases, they may help the mind feel less completely carried away. The fourth point of support is straight lines in the space. When emotions become chaotic, the eyes often do not know where to land. The room becomes blurred. The other person's voice seems louder, and thoughts begin to run faster. In that moment, they can look at the edge of a table, a door frame, the side of a cabinet, or the grout line on the floor. They can breathe in as the eyes follow one straight edge, and breathe out as the eyes follow the next edge. Do this 3 times. This is not about controlling emotion through force. It is about borrowing the order of the space to help the body remember its own breathing rhythm. And after the emotion has settled a little, they can write down what happened. It does not need to be long. 3 lines are enough. What triggered the tears? Where did the body react first? Next time, do they need to leave the situation earlier, speak more slowly, or sit in a safer position? A small notebook placed in a private corner can become the place where emotion is turned from tears into written words. When emotion has a clearer shape, it often feels less frightening. People who cry easily do not need to turn themselves into cold people. They also do not need to apologize for having deep emotions. What they may need is a more delicate way of living with their own nervous system. A chair with back support, a corner with warm light, a small object in the palm, a glass of warm water after a difficult conversation, and the edge of a table for the eyes to follow when breathing becomes rushed. These things do not replace professional support if emotions cause lasting distress or seriously affect daily life. But in ordinary moments, a few physical points of support may help a person feel less alone inside their own emotions. Strength does not mean never crying. Strength may be when a person understands that tears are signaling something, and instead of hating themselves, they slowly redesign their room, their habits, and their boundaries. So the next time emotions rise, they are no on. They are no longer standing alone in the middle of the wave. They have a place to return to, a point to touch, a breath to follow, and a space gentle enough for the body to remember. Right now, they are still safe.